Hold on, where's my hat at? Oh, there it is. Okay, now we can start the video. Howdy y'all, it's Telos, back at it again with your irregularly scheduled programming. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is something on my mind today, something important, and it's something I've noticed in the past couple of days of just being active in the Yang Gang community. Now, there is too much, way too much, doom and gloom happening across the Yang Gang right now over the past couple of days. And I'm talking on Twitter, we're seeing Yang Gang members leaving the Yang Gang, switching over to Warren or Bernie or a different candidate. We're seeing a lot of just disencouragement and unmotivated people on Twitter. Over on the Yang Gang Discord, discord.gg/Yang2020, by the way, we are seeing the same story. Well, not as stressed out and unmotivated as Twitter, but the doom and gloom is still there. And I've even seen other Yang Gang content creators on YouTube saying that Yang's campaign is literally dead in the water, that Yang has no clear path to the nomination anymore, that he has no chance of winning anymore. And that is just absurd. And I don't know why the doom and gloom is so high, but it is. And I'm here to hopefully re-inspire hope, but not false hope, but real hope back into the Yang Gang in any way that I can, because I'm kind of sick and tired of seeing all this negativity. First of all, let me remind y'all that today is October 24th, 2019. And when does the Democratic primary start? Well, I actually have it here on my phone. If I can show y'all real quick. Ah, there it is. The Democratic primaries don't begin for another 101 and a half days, y'all. That is over 3 months to go still. To repeat, the 2020 Democratic primaries do not begin until February 3rd, 2020. Y'all, there is nothing to worry about. And like I said in the beginning, I will be showing you exactly why. But first of all, let's show why there's so much doom and gloom in the first place. Heading over to our observation screen or whatever, we can see that, and zooming in a little bit more on this chart, we can see that Yang is still polling between 2 and 3% present day October 24, 2019. Still chilling at an RCP average of 2.5%. Now, this probably disappoints a lot of people. I mean, I personally expected Yang to pass Buttigieg and Harris sometime in September, if I'm being honest. At the latest, October. I thought the debates would, or our debate performances would boost us more than it's clearly been showing not to really have an effect on us. Not gonna lie, I was very optimistic in last month, and still this month I was very optimistic that Yang was going to secure himself a top 4 in a nomination by sometime in the fall. And you know what? I was wrong, and a lot of the Yang Gang were wrong, and it doesn't seem like that's happening right now. But you know what? It's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to not get your predictions right. But y'all, it is not okay to be so doom and gloom about the current situation. Yes, we would like Yang to be polling higher than he is right now. All of us would. But it's not the end. And there's not only one clear path to victory. And if you don't believe in what I'm saying, then take it from the man himself. Yes, Andrew Yang himself. As we go over to his Twitter real quick, we can see this tweet right here. He made about 3 days ago. Andrew Yang tweets saying, "The polls are saying that 75% plus of primary voters are up in the air as to who they will support. This race is just beginning." This is true. What's also true is that the Andrew Yanks, according to one poll that I can't quite recall, maybe y'all can remind me in the comments, one poll showed that if you're an Andrew Yang supporter, you are most likely going to vote for Andrew Yang right now than any other supporter of any other candidate, which is awesome. And it also shows that if you're an Andrew Yang supporter, you will most likely stay an Andrew Yang supporter out of anyone. And those facts can only help us as we continue and march forward to the primaries and through the primaries. And besides, who besides diehard political fans are really tuning into the 2020 cycle or election cycle right now? Probably not too many. And honestly, I don't blame them. Because if I wasn't into politics as I was right now, I probably wouldn't give a damn about such a crowded Democratic field right now, or Democratic candidate field right now. Because I'd probably be wondering why there's so many people. I'm just going to wait until there's like a handful, or like 4 or 5. Why would I keep track of like so many different candidates? And this is where Andrew Yang shines, because Andrew Yang's campaign is in it for the long run, even though the polling numbers may not reflect that. As long as he keeps qualifying to each debate, he's good to go. And as long as he keeps exponentially growing his fundraising every quarter, the fourth quarter should be pretty tremendous, hopefully. Andrew Yang is in it for the long haul, and that's where he's been at since day one. Even though my predictions in September and October were quite optimistic regarding his polling numbers, deep down I still knew that this is a marathon, not a sprint, like I said. Did not mean to spend so much time on one single tweet, but we are gonna... I did have to make my point, and now we're gonna move on to the next tweet, where Yang tweeted, "Release the Kraken." Kind of very ominous, but you can tell big things are coming. Just about a week from now, a week and a day, will be Yangapalooza, this big, giant event happening in Iowa. There's going to be rock stars there, secret celebrity endorsements. It's going to be crazy. It's obviously an effort to boost Yang's chances in Iowa, and I am very interested in what the Iowa polls will be post Yangapalooza, because if the hype is real, as much as Yang is hyping it up, it could be such a crazy moment to look back on in the Yang 2020 campaign. Depending on how big the celebrity endorsements are and how big... I mean, I know the guy from Weezer is there, so it's going to be wild for sure. But release the Kraken, what else could it mean? It could also mean something that we have no idea about at all. Well, actually, we have some idea about. If we head off of Twitter real quick to head over to Yang's website, Yang actually has a new stretch goal of reaching 1.5 million raised. Not in total for the quarter so far, but in about a week. Yeah, like 2 days ago, he set up this 1.5 million goal. So like about 1.5 million in like a week and a week and a half. So Yang said that this 1.5 million goal will specifically go to targeting early states like TV ads and internet ads. So it's awesome to see that Yang is definitely starting to ramp up production. He's starting to get serious, not only with fundraising, but also on Twitter, as I'm sure a lot of y'all actually ended up seeing my last video, which was awesome. So thank you for the support. But yeah, let's head over back to Twitter and final thoughts on this thing. I'm sure Yang will reach his goal. But specifically, I think that's it for Release the Kraken. Just who knows what Yang campaign has planned. We have this next tweet that gives us a bit more insight. Andrew Yang says, "We are revving up the campaign to start making big bets. Thank you for putting us in a position to make history. Hashtag Yang Gang. Let's do it." So, yeah, if it isn't obvious already, Andrew Yang has really big things planned for the campaign. I believe in an interview, Andrew Yang said, or in an email, he actually said, "We see a path forward to the nomination and we're just going to take it." So, like the tweet says, he's going to start making big bets. I'm sure we can expect a lot more unprecedented things, such as the Yangapalooza event in Iowa that I'm talking about. Maybe there could be Yangapalooza events in other states, in other early states, who knows. Looks like the train, or the Yang Yacht, is starting to finally come along, and the campaign has decided that it's time to start moving, because I'm sure they can crunch the numbers of like how many people are tuning in, and they probably decided it's time to go ahead. And we have this final tweet here by Andrew Yang, who says, "Progress isn't a straight line. Sometimes it happens in unexpected ways and in short periods of time." So this is exactly what I'm saying, and Andrew Yang kind of wraps it up all here. There isn't only one path to the nomination. In life in general, there isn't only one way to succeed in life. I'm getting a phone call, sorry. And yeah, this tweet is pretty much saying that just expect the Yang campaign to pull off some crazy things in the upcoming weeks and months ahead, especially when it starts to be crunch time, and all the other candidates are probably going to start throwing mud like crazy, frantically being erratic, I'm sure the Andrew Yang campaign is just going to be sailing along as it always has. And of course, remember to donate to the Andrew Yang campaign, because that is like the only way that Andrew Yang is able to pull off all these things, through our help, through small dollar donations from people like you and me. Another thing I want to include is that don't believe the polls 100%, because a lot of them still do landline. Not only landline, I think that's just a myth at this point, but the fact that, the Yang campaign is, it is pretty heavily internet based, but like Yang said himself, if people are going out and literally getting tattoos of a cartoon Andrew Yang's face on their calves, shout out Juanito from Twitter, but yeah, if they're doing stuff like that, the Yang Gang is most likely going to go out and vote if they're that dedicated. You know what I'm saying? So I don't 100% believe the polls. I feel like we're really going to shock the news, the media, shock the world come this February. But yeah, those are just some reasons that I am still 100% Yang Gang, and I still have 100% faith that Andrew Yang can get this nomination, go on to be the nominee and beat Donald Trump. Now, there is one more resource called canandrewyangwin.com. I will link it in the description. I've decided this video is going on a bit too long, and I do have school in like an hour. So I will go into detail on that website in a later video, but if y'all want a head start, I will link it in the description. Basically, it shows that Andrew Yang's chances of winning a nomination aren't as unlikely as it has been for other candidates in the past who have gone on to actually win a nomination. It's not like it's not like the situation has happened a bunch of times where an unlikely winner ended up sweeping the nomination, but it's not like it's never happened. And yeah, I will link that in the description below. So that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you are more optimistic and less doom and gloom about the Yang campaign, if you were doom and gloom before. And if you're optimistic, then hopefully you're still optimistic, and maybe even more optimistic and hopeful. Hopeful especially. That's a very strong thing to have. And yeah, that's about it from me. If you're watching this in the day, I hope you have a good day. And if you're watching this at night, I hope you have a good night. But yeah, I really enjoy making these videos a lot. So I'm glad you all are supporting me, so I can, I guess, have a reason to kind of pushes me, motivates me, knowing that people are waiting for a new upload and stuff like that, and they actually enjoy the content. So I hope you all keep enjoying it. And yeah, I've been Detective Lewis, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.